All right, so I'm just going to do a rough mix and add some effects in. Now this song actually doesn't really need that many effects, but I'm just going to go ahead and put some effects in where I would. And I don't really want to take much more than like 15 minutes or so to do this. But what I'm going to do first of all is I'm just going to get rid of some of these effects and synths because we just don't need that many. And I'm going to put things in the right order. Now this is not something you have to do, but I recommend putting stuff in an order that makes some kind of sense for you. That way you're not constantly looking for tracks and stuff like that. So I always put all my drums at the top or on the full left-hand side, cowbell, all this stuff here. We've got a snare and clap here. There's that. And I think that's all the drums. There might be some other ones in here I'm just not seeing right now, but I think that's pretty much it. Then we got our bass sounds. Here's one bass. Here's one that's called slap. It's slap bass. It's not really a bass, it's more of an effect, but I'm just going to put it there. And then we got our sub bass. There's those three things. Let me see here. Return. This is an effect. I think that's actually for the drums. I could be wrong, but let's put that there for now. And then guitar wet, guitar dry. I'm going to put the guitar dry before the wet. The cash register is going to go next to the here right before the vocals, and the race car is going to go there as well, and the breath chants. Not sure where those go, but we'll just put them there for now. And then the pulse, strings, synth stabs, all that stuff is going to go like that. And then my vocals, I got my main vocals here, my main CLA effects, which we're probably going to remove here, and then the return to, which we'll probably also remove. Let's just take a look at that in a second. Vocal reverb return to as well. Oh wait, I put the wrong thing. That's okay. And then mid-chorus, low, chops. Okay, so, and we can move these things around again later. We don't have to, this doesn't have to be like the final thing, but so now what I'm gonna do is we're gonna put a master fader in here. I'm just gonna put my master fader at the end. I'm not gonna worry about coloring stuff right now, just because that's not part of the assignment for this one here. You don't have to color it, although I do recommend you coloring it just to keep organized, but people do different things different ways. I'm just going to go ahead and do the rough mix real quick. So we've got this master fader here. I'm going to go ahead and save this so in case something weird happens, let's do save as. And I'm going to call this one 20G, just like you, rough mix. There we go. So now, go over here. All right. So first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to make those drums so they're nice and loud within the mix, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and just mute everything, and I'm going to unmute my drums. I'm going to start with my drums. And all the stuff here, actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to go ahead and turn everything down. And my drums, I'm going to take these drums, here's my drums here, boop, there's my drums, and I'm holding down Option while I click them to put them back to 0 like that. And now I'm going to unmute these. I'm going to make sure these are loud. Now all these tracks are not, all these tracks are not so loud, so yeah, this is, okay, this is my return for my snare drums. Cool. So you're gonna have to turn your volume up a little bit, and I'm gonna go ahead on my master output again. I'm gonna go ahead and just turn this one up for now so we can hear it, so y'all can hear it nice and loud. I'll turn that down again before I bounce it out. But so I got this here, I got my drums going on, and let's go ahead and bring my bass up into things. Make sure we're playing a place that has my bass in it. Yes, the sub bass is right there, cool. And what I'm gonna do is, I think the tempo of the song is 105? Seems like it, yeah. That seems right. Okay, so 105, so if you're following along at home or whatever, 105 is the tempo. So here's this part here. And let's get my bass in. Bring the bass in. I'm going to pull my bass up like that. I'm going to pull my synth up. There we go. Pull this up here. For all the songs. What do you mean for all the songs? What are you referring to for all the songs? I mean, this is how I would do it for all the songs. This is how I basically start a mix. I start with everything down and pull it up. Start with the drums, bring in the bass. We're bringing in these synthesizers as we go. But I'm starting with my rhythm section. Yeah, for every song. Every song you ever do, this is what you should always do. Start with your rhythm section and then go from there. And we're going to talk about why. But the quick answer is because you need a foundation for stuff. Oh, the tempo. Oh, no, the tempo for all the songs is definitely not, definitely not 104. I don't know what the tempo is for the other songs. Every song, or sorry, 105. That's just this song. This song is 105. The other songs are, they're all going to be a little bit different. The rock song might be set up correctly already. I'm not really sure. And then the other one, remember I did that whole beat detective thing yesterday to do that. So that's a very different thing. All right, so over here. So let's just listen to this one more time. Cool, that sounds good. And we got over here, breath stuff, yeah. Turn that down. Turn that down a little bit. All right, there we go, there's that. Here's this synth slap thing. Cool. And then we got the 808 bass. Now the 808 bass is probably going to be similar to this sub bass here. Turn it down a little bit. Cool. Awesome. And that's pretty much the strings doing anything here. Hold on. Let me just see if my strings are actually doing anything. Oh yeah, the strings are doing from over here. Let's listen to these. Yeah. Cool. Get those strings in there nice and quietly. And now I'm going to skip over here to the guitar section and let's listen to these guitars. Cool, that sounds good. Too loud. Awesome. Let's get these race car and these effects in here. There's like a cash register. Let's hear that one. Cool. There's that. Sweet. And that is the rough mix. And then we just need to pull our vocals in here. Now, if you remember before when I did this, I actually cut the chorus out. If you were watching, if you were here before, I cut the chorus out of everything which I'm not going to do today, but that is something you could do. You could pull the chorus out to make things a little bit more level in volume, because you can see some of these things spike a lot, which is, it is what it is, but. Okay, cool. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put a compressor on here to cut it down. It's already got some good effects on it, but I'm just going to make sure it's compressed nicely. Get my compressor limiter here and turn that up. Come on, threshold up. Ratio, let's do a ratio of 2, so, because we don't want much ratio. Attack, release, yeah, okay.
You move with me, looking in your eyes to know just what I see. Sitting on the edge of time. Ooh, yeah, baby, I am feeling fine. Broken mirrors, shattered dreams. I know this feels good, but who knows what love means. The way you move on the dance floor, it just make me wanna turn you on. The way you move it all around me, I just wanna turn you on, baby. Do re mi fa, sol la ti do.
Cool. That's that. Let's get these low, the reverb in here. Let's see what that one sounds like. Let's just solo that real quick. All right, okay.
Make me wanna turn you on. The way you move it all around me, I just wanna turn you on, baby. Do re mi fa,
Cool.
sol la.
The chorus is off in the beginning. Oh, slow? I'm not worried about that too much. If you want to fix that, you can be my guest. I'm not going to spend time on that today, though. I'm you're really just getting a rough mix going on. But if it's bothering you, be my guest, please fix it up. What's the vocal chops?
The way you move on the dance floor, it just make me wanna turn you on. The way you move it all around me, well, I just wanna turn you on, baby.
Cool. All right. And I think that is our rough mix. Now we need to add some effects in here. So what I want to do here is we need to go back now and add some effects. I got a rough mix going on. Now what I'm going to do here is listen to some of these a little bit more, and let's go ahead with our kick drum here. Let's go to this section here. I'm just going to loop that part right there.
Sitting on the edge of time.
I'm going to go ahead and mute these ones here. I'm just going to go ahead and hide and make these inactive, and this one here. Oh, I didn't bring that one up. Where is that one? Oh, that's just over here at the end. Hold on, let's just listen to that real quick. There we go. Cool. All right. So now I'm going to go ahead and mute all my vocals. And let's hear this kick drum. I mean, this one here, this whole track is just already pretty much mixed. So, you know, I'm just going to tweak some stuff here. I want to bring out that pop of that kick a little bit there. I don't need to bring that up any. And let's put a compressor on just to kind of bring out the beginning of the note a little bit. I'm not a huge fan of the weight of the sound. That. huge fan of that sound right there. Not my favorite kick drum in the world. So I got that there. Now let's listen to our snare drum. This one I kind of like it. I want to send that to a little bit more reverb. We've got this reverb here. I'm going to go ahead and put another reverb for this here. We're going to call this one drum reverb. And on here, all I'm using is just the Pro Tools effects right now. So I got this one here. Let's put a little deverb in here, and there's that. Let's get this room, medium. Yes, that's good there. And I'm going to take this and send it over to that reverb bus. Let's go to the track, drum reverb. There we go. Cool. Send it over. See what that sounds like. Cool. I've added a little pre-delay on it so it gives it a little bit of space. It spaces it out from the other reverb a little bit. Let's hear these here. What happened? Why did we... I thought I was playing here. Oh, I remember. All right, there we got that. Let's get this bass in here. Where's our bass? Cool. And again, like they all sound pretty good anyway, but let's see. Get rid of that. And all these drums here, I'm going to go ahead and group all these drums together. I'm going to subgroup these, which is not necessarily for this one, but if you want to do it here, you can. Drum group. All these are going to go into my drum group. I'm going to put a little compression on these here. I'm going to use this BF76. Cool. Awesome. Okay, so we got that. I'm going to turn this one here. Let's go ahead and EQ that a little bit. Right, just to kind of do something with it. Awesome. These hats, pull up some of the high frequencies a little bit. There's that. This main synth here, I'm gonna pull out the lows here. Okay, and the reason why I'm pulling out some of these frequencies here is so that it can sit with that kick drum. So if I pull over here this kick, we want these two to go together, right? Because they're hitting together, so we want them to be happy and playing together nicely. So, right. Maybe. So there's like a lot of that low frequency in there. Let's pull that out so we have room for this kick drum to do its thing. Cool, and let's go over here to our vocal. We've got this one in here. Let's go ahead and listen to our vocals. I'm gonna put a de-esser on here to get rid of some of the sibilance. There's a de-esser here, just to make sure we're not getting too much sibilance in here. And we're going to use another reverb. For our vocals here. Let's use the plate. We're going to use a small plate. Send that over to the reverb. There we go. Cool, yeah. Cool, and there we go. I think that sounds all right enough.
When I'm with you, all I wanted to do is just go, go, go. Tripping on feline powder, aquamarine, double tea, and summer showers.
Cool.
Baby, yes, I know that you have never done anything quite like this right here before. I promise you that by the end of this song, baby, I will turn you on. The way you move up on the dance floor, it just makes me wanna turn you on. The way you move it all around me, I just wanna turn you on, baby.
Cool. All right, and that would satisfy the assignment, because what are we talking about in here? It says complete a rough mix of your song and add insert synth effects to your mix. You'll need a minimum of 10 insert effects, 2 synth effects, and 1 effect on the master fader. So, reliving the 80s. This is I would not really call this 80s. I don't know. 80s would have a lot more FM synths in it. Turn in a screenshot of the mix window to show your work. See below for an example of what it should look like. Although I see what you're talking. For me, this is more like 90s, I think. This is more of a 90s thing. But 90s with like a more modern, because it's got like the auto-tune stuff going on in the vocal. Let me see here. Turn in a screenshot of mix window. Yeah. So basically just have some effects in here. Make sure you got some synth effects, 2 synth effects we've got here. I've got my drum reverb here and my vocal reverb. So I got that stuff in here. And then we got all the inserts going on. We got 10 inserts. We got 2 synths. So that's good. Just send me a screenshot. You don't. So for the screenshot over here, or okay, I see what you're saying. narrow mix. There's my narrow mix. And if you can fit all on the same screen, you don't need to send me 2 screenshots. Like if you can only fit half of it on there, that's fine. Sade. Yeah, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. Yeah, like that kind of stuff. All right, so that's it. Cool. So